takes two different mentalities to battle and to put albums out. Two completely different mentalities. When you're battling, especially nowadays, I'll say it's even worse. When you're battling nowadays, you're essentially writing 1,200 bars for another man. Like, pause. You're out there when your entire focus is somebody else. Now try removing that person. What are you going to write about? What are you going to say? You know? You have to pull something from nothing, or you have to pull something from your environment. It's not so much a one-dimensional attack in which you have to find multiple dimensions to attack one same person. I'm not constrained by that anymore. I can write a song about anything, or if I want, I can battle myself. I can expose or hide. I can build or destroy. I have so many more options, whereas battling, I think, is more limited to one individual, which, again, also the business of it, at this stage, I don't think promotes the same growth that it used to back in the day. I think back in the day, what is more telling, and if you talk to people who were in the battle scene, the winner of most of these battles, where it was just one winner at the end of the night. Nowadays, the Summer Madness shit, y'all had mad people battling. It was just, okay, there's like 10 winners. Someone had to win all those battles. Yeah. But then again, back in the day, it was like 32 MCs. One winner for the night.
Yeah.
33 losers, like 31 losers for the night, dude. You know, you could have won all the battles except the last one. Niggas don't give a fuck about that, yo. They wanted you to see you win the last battle. And they brought you back the next time they had the battle as the returning champion to perform music. And you could tell right then and there who was serious about this shit and who was just playing games. You know, when I got up there, I took the songs I had written while I was incarcerated. I performed them. I performed the songs that I just wrote. I wanted to get people to understand, you know, where I was coming from and what I was saying.
You know, for example, Jin was an incredible battle rapper, but when he dropped his album, he got signed to Rough Riders, he dropped his album, people didn't really react to the album.
I think he made a series of business mistakes. He made some marketing mistakes. I'm not going to talk about him because I could really throw homie under the bus and say some things that would like make people look at him very differently, but I'm not going to do that out of respect for him and his new family. But I'm just going to say this, that I know all these people. I know what they did wrong and what they did right. I know some of the personal mistakes that they've made, and I think that when you look at them, you can take them on a case-by-case basis, but the bottom line is still this. If you're doing battling and trying to write music at the same time, you're sending your mind conflicting messages. One is, you know, just aggressiveness in battle and focus towards one enemy and destroy them. Music is not just about destroying, it's destroying and rebuilding. You know what I mean? In all these battles, the one that people are talking about right now that just came out, the Loaded Lux Calico one, that the reason people are giving him so much love, even though he threw the first round, is that he built and he destroyed and built. The last verse is talking about, damn, he didn't say your mother's a whore. He said your mother's a black queen, and any man out there to be lucky to have her. And then went in on his pops, like a perfect divide and conquer strategy. Love your mother, I got mad respect to her, but your pops is a big meat backup singing that left your mom out in the cold. Like, when you do things like that, it's a clever way of strategy. But again, still, we're talking about a one-dimensional attack still, even though it has multiple dimensions, because we're talking about one individual. You know? Mind you, in regular, you know, no confines put on it, you can rap about anything. You can build and destroy. You can create, as opposed to simply ripping down, ripping down, ripping down, ripping down. By the end, what's been created? A hole of negativity, you know, but with no answer to it. You know, I think it's a gladiator sport, but nothing gets built at a gladiator sport, you know what I mean? They build an arena for gladiator sports, but nothing ever gets built in that arena. Everything gets destroyed.
How did you feel when Cannabis pulled out the Notebook?
I was actually watching that on Ustream with one of the homies, my brother Swave Sever. Big shout out to him. He's battling in URL and all these other battle leagues. And I didn't understand what the hell was going on at first. I was like, wait a minute, what? Like at first, then he came out with the slang, and then I was like, yo, is this an act? I thought it was an act. I thought he was trying to throw off his opponent with all the physical aspects of it. And then I realized that there was just something very wrong with this whole scenario.
Remember, like at one point, even before the Notebook, he started rapping verses from his old songs. Remember, and people were like rapping along with him and stuff like that.
I thought that was an interesting way of pointing out to everyone. Yes, it's been like 15 years, but people still remember that. I thought that wasn't what made me think he was gonna fuck up when he stopped rapping and then turned to someone and said, give me the book. If I had been that person that he had said, give me the book to, I'd have been like, nah, man, I'm sorry. Let's just go. Fuck this nigga. Fuck all this shit. We got our money. It don't matter, man. You know? And I don't know what homie was going through in terms of his personal life, you know? That's why I'm not sitting here judging him as a man or that situation. I don't know what the hell happened to him personally. I don't know what happened to him before the battle or afterwards.
He said that he wrote thousands of bars, but he's not a battle rapper, and he just couldn't remember the bars, essentially.
Yeah. Don't do it then. You know what I mean? That takes a lot of practice. You know, I know people that do that all the time. You see them, and when they get close to the battle, their mind is not on, okay, I need to make music. Their mind is like, don't talk to me, man. I'm focused on killing this nigga. Like, they sitting there writing stuff. It's the same with me and touring and making music. You know, people say, hey, how come you don't release more albums? I'm like, I'm always on tour. It's hard because I want to sit down somewhere and really focus, be able to read, research. This takes a long time. But if I'm dipping and dodging out of everywhere, there are people that like to write like that. They like to write on a plane, you know, or on a connecting flight to somewhere else. And yes, I have wonderful ideas that way. I do all that. But if I really want to sit down and have the time to go through a studio process and I usually use the same engineer only because I known homie for, you know, most of my life. It was one of the first friends that I had when I came to America. So the good thing I think about the support system that I've always had and then the niggas that I always ran with are people that I've known for over 10 years, you know? So they could tell me and be honest. Like we went on the Joe Rogan show and I was like, yo, you could be honest right now and just tell them, you're like, yo, have I ever tried to jerk anybody here for money or played games about shit like that? And they said, no, never. How's my driving? Am I one of the best drivers in hip hop? The nigga's like, get the fuck out of here. Everyone's like, hell no, this nigga's crazy. My friends would be honest with me, you know what I mean?